Black is in the building. Definitely happy birthday to Angel Dickinson. What's poppin', Chi-Town? Chi-Town Finest. You heard? What's going on? Uh, let's get this party started.
Say it now to just say it like they say I love you and you're my homie and you're my friend, bro. But we was raised to move in silence. You know, big shout out to my man Zeke Black. Zeke Black, Double J, all them, you know, they used to tell me, you know, really Zeke Black, because Double J knew what time.
Definitely shout out to Unique Mega Audio for shouting me out on Vlad. And he done took the wolves, of course, seas now, a whole nother geographic. You heard? Definitely, you know, it's a lot going on. The gunning situation. Young Thug was in court yesterday. You know, only time will tell if the man's is gonna actually physically point his finger. Part of his plea agreement is most likely most people plea agreements you have to admit it. Most people plea agreements you have to admit to your crime. So if you want to call it snitching, you can call it snitching because he had to admit to a certain crime, I guess. I'm not really following it, but I just tell you about a plea agreement. Most plea agreements is you have to admit to whatever crime they charge you with. You know what I'm saying? Whatever they charge you with is what you're pleading to. So whatever they said he had to plead to is what he pled to. Now, I heard that they can't use whatever he said against his co-defendants. So, I just, you know, you take it for what it's worth. You know what I'm saying? But when they say that, that's, well, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because you got guys that has co-defendants that got fed cases that plead to their crimes. And that doesn't mean that they're snitching on their co-defendant if they can't use your testimony against your co-defendant. Now, your co-defendant might be a little upset that, damn, son, you actually did some shit about it on paper. But that's a personal thing and not a global thing. Because you have to do the necessary necessaries. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, only time will tell if somebody goes to trial and he physically goes on the stand and they use his testimony against him. Now, Pat Porter was back on the stage yesterday. Pat's story, the real Painful. That's what I'm calling it, the real Painful. Pat was back on the stage yesterday on Vlad, and she was mentioning the night that changed New York City, Harlem. 1987. In 1987, I was in Norman Thomas High School, 33rd Street, Park Avenue in Manhattan, New York. If you ever seen the movie Strictly Business with Halle Berry and Tommy Davidson, that bank building, that's my school. The bank was on the other side. My school was on 33rd, the bank was on 34th Street, but in the same building upstairs. My high school had escalators. To give you a picture of what my high school looked like. Just to give you all, you know, we're in 1987 right now. The streets is crazy. And then it goes viral in the school. Across New York. Might have been the world. Azie Faison was shot. It happened in the Bronx. Grand Concourse. It was a shock to a lot of hustlers. It was the talk of the town. Back then, when I was in high school, I went to high school with the with the Cato from the West Side, Vito, Wiggs, Angel Medina, not Angel, Ed Medina, my man Hector Mendez from Jeff. We used to cut class frequently and run the hallways. There's a bunch of other legends that went to school with us as well. Like Albert from the YTC and Pito from the YTC. So I'm giving you the feeling. I'm giving you the texture. We was in this time in New York, check out the old New York on, it was the Decepticon era in New York City. So other than people worrying about not getting robbed leaving school, that was like the big thing. Yo, they just shot AZ. Now, I'm going to take you back to 1987. Let's go back to 1987. For you guys that's not from the United States of America. because there's a lot of people that's watching that's not from the great states, United States of America, from this great land. 1987. Ah, 1987, the St. Louis Cardinals played the Minnesota Twins. You would have thought that. Yep, St. Louis Cardinals played the Minnesota Twins. The Cardinals actually defeated them in 4 games. So they actually won a chip. They did the St. Louis Cardinals in 1987. The 1987 World Series baseball, Cardinals beat the Twins. 1987, New York City. Now, the messed up part, the whole part that's really messed up in this whole situation that we're speaking about is the man that played a part to the shooting, which was Kevin Clark. Now, we're going to be very clear here. Azie told his mother. This is what's being said from Pat Porter. A told his mom who shot him. Kevin Clark was, might as well say, he was a family member because he messed with the sister. So 9 out of 10, he knew Joanne. I don't know the beef or his aunt or his cousin, the lady that was there, but he had to know one of them. I don't know the personal beef that he had with A because I wasn't there. But one thing I'm going to say was, whatever anger he had, he wanted to kill A. Oh, the Twins beat the, well, this is, that's what I thought. The Twins beat him, right? 1987. Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, rest in peace to Kirby Parker. I think he passed away. The Twins won it. Facts. The Twins won it. Yes, the Twins won. The Twins defeated the Cardinals in 4 games to 3 in the World Series. The MVP was Frank Viola. Let's get back to the pay to full. Thank you, Zan. Thank you. But it was the Twins against the, because I like baseball, so definitely shout out to the Twins, the great Midwest. I don't know what kind of, but whatever the motive was, it ended twisted. Handed coming out of Pat's voice. He said, yo, his mother asked who shot him. And that's where it cut off at. He said it was Kevin. Now, this is the whole thing that bugs me out. Kevin takes 2 guys on him to a robbery, right? Robbery. We're doing the right thing, right? The necessary necessaries, as they say, the necessary necessaries. The do's and the don'ts, right? So why would Kevin go in an apartment to rob somebody and you begin to talk? Why wear the mask for? If A knew who, this sounds weird. So you go in on a robbery to rob your brother-in-law, you begin to speak, and now you're upset that the man has said, yo, he's calling your name, yo, Kev, what's up? Why you doing this to me? But you're his brother-in-law. Why wouldn't A know your name? So this is the weird part about this robbery. This is the weirdest part about this whole robbery. Why wear the mask for if Once you start yelling and screaming, yo, yo, son. I understand wearing the mask so nobody else can see you, but when you got in the crib, man, yo, son, I'm not playing with you. What the fuck is up, man? Doesn't make no sense, June. This is crazy. So when you hear when Azie says this 21 gun salute, it sounds a little loose. I'm gonna play the content. Shout out to Vlad. But nobody never said. When she said, yo, he told his mother who shot him. I don't see his mother, Azie's mother. I don't think Azie's mother was going to fight for Kevin Clark's freedom. I don't think that I don't think his mother was not going to fight for that freedom. Now, under duress and getting beat in the head and hearing people get shot and screaming and dying, A couldn't open up the safe. Of course, he's rattled. I'd have been rattled. Fuck that. Definitely if you feel he gonna kill me anyway. Why am I gonna open the safe for? That's just me. If I had 2-3 people get their head popped, you done bust me over my head 2-3 good times. I'm not opening shit. You're gonna kill me anyway. That's how I'm gonna look at it. I'm dead anyway. Plus, you know I could identify you. Be out of here. That's why I said the motive had to been to smoke him, because why are you yelling and screaming like Joanne and this guy doesn't know him? I'm not opening nothing. Because now we're going back to 1987. Let's get back to shout out to Wiggs. I can't forget about Wiggy. What was going on in 1987 in New York? Well, was Mr. Magic still? I believe Mr. Magic was still on WBLS. Let's see what's going on in 1987. We have to give the necessaries. You know what I'm saying? 1987 crime wave. OG Sonny Blanco's in the building. I think they did. I think it was like whatever they found. I think whatever they got out to say, because the police had to bust the safe open. I think it was some grams, some paraphernalia. I don't think there was nothing in the safe. Word. You know what I'm saying? Whatever he had in the house, but whatever was in that safe was probably just money, bro. Most in that situation, the work was probably somewhere. They took the work. You know what I'm saying? The work was probably visual, most likely. On the scales or whatever the case may be, you can snatch that. Most people would stash money in a safe. And that was probably what was in the safe with some bread. Because you know why? Those guys don't got drug charges. Because even though it wasn't their drugs, by them finding drugs in their house, they would have got charged with at least possession of drugs, and then they would have to throw that out. You know what I'm saying? Unless New York State didn't change their laws. But if I rob a house, right, and I book it for the drugs, and I killed 2-3 people, and that was a robbery going bad. That was a robbery, but we don't know at what point it went bad. What point in the robbery did it go bad? They was in there way too long. All that yelling and screaming, they was in there way too long. If they was in there so long that Azie was able to shake with him a little bit, that's too long, bro. You know, most be in the house was not playing with you. Boom, the first victim. Not saying like that, but boom. Yo, I'm not playing with you. This shit was too long. It was too much. It was way too much going on. I have to admit, it was way too much going on. They had to be in that house for at least 30 minutes to an hour. You know what I'm saying? Most home invasions is in and out. We get in there, we throw people against the wall, and the safe opens. And it depends on how big the safe is. If the safe is manageable, we're just walking out with this bitch. You know what I'm saying? This is the fucking Bronx. We're not talking about Exactly. We're not talking about Forest Hills. We're not talking about um, the Hamptons. Somebody walking out of a building on the Grand Concourse, that's not unusual. Police wasn't stopping nobody. You know what I'm saying? It took a lot for the blue and whites to hop out. All that shooting, all that con. But who said the shooter? Kevin, shut that bitch up. That's what A said. Shut that bitch up. So why would you tell them to shut her up or you fucked your own robbery up. So unless, am I bugging out, or was these niggas high? Or at least was Kevin high? Was he geeked up? Was he on some angel dust? He fucked up his own robbery. You told the nigga that's in the house to rob something, yo, shut this bitch up. What is he supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? What options you gave this seasoned stick-up kid? Shut her up, I bet. Put the music up, kill her. Bomb. 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 Not saying it like that. What call is that? Meanwhile, while the shots is going off, you wrestling with this thing in the bathroom. You can't make this shit up. Can't make this up. So now, in all reality, right? These guys, Joffrey was popping. These guys were seasoned stick-up kids, though. This wasn't no new Jack rookies. It wasn't a nigga like me in the crib, who's not into that. Timmons and Bolden, this is what they do. They did bids for, definitely Bolden. I don't know about the Timmons guy. But Bolden, his last bid was for robbing houses and all type of shit like that. So how is it you got these seasoned home invasions and they're pulling rookie mistakes for a guy your claim was the softest nigga in America? If Kevin Clark, if your brother-in-law was so soft and he was so much how you felt, that it wasn't supposed to take that long. As soon as he heard your voice, he's supposed to cramp him up. Yo, Kev, I want no problems with you. Let me open this shit up, get you out of here. But you showed that nigga some failures. There's a reason why A treated you the way he treated you. He may have had a high respect for you, but you was doing something, or you did something that he just didn't respect about you no more. That gangster passion that you had was out the wall, whatever was out the door. If he felt doing a home invasion and he could shake with you, there was a sign of weakness that you showed him. And he went for it. He ain't gonna kill me. Boom, boom. He went for it. Can't get mad at that. Now, the amazing part about this, again, he told on you, Kevo. And what you do, Kev, you told on the niggas you brought to the robbery. You know what I'm saying? So now let's do the necessaries. Again, Kevin Clark, I'm talking to you now, Kevin Clark. I'm talking to you. I hope your little brother or your crackhead brother's watching this. I'm talking to you. So you can hear this in the JPay. They can JPay you. I'm talking to you, Kevo. I don't need to talk to you. I need to talk to you. What in the world was on your mind when you went in that house and did what the fuck you did? It's beyond everybody else's imagination. You went in there with rookie mistakes and then told the niggas who actually did it with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, they was with me. And you still got just as much time as them, but you got charged with one body in intent. You fucking idiot. You just did better running down on A, following him, jumping out, going, yo, son, what you got in your pocket, son? If you was that official, I think you did something that wasn't official. Sometimes a lot of you niggas be feeling like dudes. Exactly. You did something that was unofficial, that A didn't respect about you no more. You wasn't who you used to be. And that's the first thing he did. He couldn't wait to tell. Yo, these niggas was with me. I got the receipts, Kevo. I got the receipts. Now my whole thing was, what made you think in a million years that Junior or Lucky, whatever the fuck you want to call him, was gonna sit there and fight for your freedom? What in the street codes is that? Somebody please put in the what street code is that one? He was supposed to fight for your freedom. He's supposed to fight for your freedom. Come on, Cap. You know you fuck with if Azie was getting high, what you getting? You fuck with those rulers. Fuck with those rulers with the dope. You couldn't maintain. So I seen you niggas before. You niggas try to maintain and getting high and running around and y'all begin to slip. Y'all start selling jackets, Gucci jackets, sneakers, Tim's start flying off the feet. I've seen you niggas before. And then what happens is y'all begin to rob your workers. So what happens is once you keep playing with the grams, niggas they decide, I don't want to kill you, I'm not fucking with you. Instead of killing you, I'm just not gonna fuck with you no more. But you couldn't take that. Your addiction called for, fuck that. That nigga owe me. For whoever knows why you feel like he owe you. But again, this ain't a Kevin Clark show. This is about Pat telling her story when he got shot. When he got shot, that shit rocked New York City. When Azie got shot, it rocked New York City. That was the talk of the school. Yo, Azie got hit. What? Yo, home invasion. Yo, that's crazy. That was the talk of the school year. That was the talk of the summer. This is what I'm just giving you the year, 87, that's what I was going to school with. When we was going to school, we was having these conversations how Azie got shot. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Nobody ever said he was telling. That's the crazy part about this. As crazy as the streets wasn't calling A a rat. And I'm not going to sit here and say that, yo, niggas was calling Azie a rat because he wasn't calling him a rat. Dudes wasn't calling A a rat. He really wasn't. Maybe they lose circles, but nobody was going, yo, Azie's a rat. Nah, niggas wasn't doing that. You know what I'm saying? That was just a wake-up call to how niggas fuck with niggas. Gotta keep that in mind, man. That was a conversation in school, then Darnell, then Pullman. This was like crazy. But best believe, right? So here it goes. Here go the great Kevin Clark. Nobody never knew, you know what I'm saying? Now, Kevin could tell his story. Oh, now I wasn't looking for the lump on her neck. I wasn't really looking for that, you know what I'm saying? But Pat's being well versed here, right? What happened? Hold on. Let's get to some notes. We're dealing with 1987. Now, let's talk about '87. I was writing graffiti. No, 87. Yeah, we was writing graffiti at White Storm movie theater. There's a lot of money in these dirty streets. Things was changing. In that summer, the streets, boom. That was a viral conversation going into the school year. Remember, school starts in September. So that was a conversation. Yo, Azie got hit. These was conversations, shocking conversations. But I'm gonna read what the New York Times had to say. This is where the storyline begins, what will turn into the real paid in full. Because A first, Darnell rest in peace second, Rich third. 6 people, New York Times. 3 are slain and 3 are hurt in a robbery tied to drugs. You'll see it. New York Times. 6 people were shot in the head early yesterday in the South Bronx apartment during a drug-related robbery. Police said 3 died immediately, but 3 others, including the 13-year-old girl, were found alive. Now, this is amazing, right? When I say this, right? They bring up the 13-year-old girl, and these guys go Azie, whatever the case may be with the 13-year-old girl. My whole thing is, but the people that's saying this, definitely salute the unique. Definitely salute, definitely. You be rocking and popping. Get to those prison stories. But y'all stabbed the little girl like 4 or 5 times and shot her. So you're not no different than what y'all accusing this man of. You're trying to kill a little girl. We don't know if AZ had sexual relations with the girl. But we do know what y'all did to the little girl. What makes y'all different? This is where the gangster shit, this is where the pick and choosing of gangster conversations happening. Oh, she's never been there. But y'all stabbed the little girl up and shot her. Did y'all forget that part when y'all get mad at AZ for testifying against y'all or whoever? Did y'all forget that y'all stabbed a little girl up and shot her? You have to do that. Y'all didn't have to do all that. Little girl, she just sat in the corner. She just shut the fuck up and sat in the corner. So again, let's make sense of this conversation. For y'all that know Kevin Clark, get the JPay, let him know what's going on. We're talking about you, Kevin. Talking about you, Kevin. Because what Pat said was very touching. A man's on his deathbed, 9 shots. His mother asked him, who shot you? Who killed my relatives? And he's supposed to fight for your freedom. He's supposed to, at that moment, A was supposed to go, nah, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. His mother probably went and told the police who killed her relatives, bro. I wasn't there. Then if he admitted to that, then he's just as dead dirty as the niggas that tried to kill him in that situation. Then he's just as dirty as the girl, if that's what he said on Vlad, because I have to say allegedly because I didn't see it. But they tried to kill the little girl. What's the difference, bro? What grown man in his 40s or 30s and 40s attempts to kill a little girl? That was not a threat. She wasn't a threat. There's no way this little girl was a threat in that situation. You're blowing people's heads off. You're stabbing people. That girl wasn't a threat in that situation. You only kill them when the little girl that went for a gun or a knife or a brick or a table. Y'all tried to kill a little girl. Y'all stabbed her up like it was personal. You know what I'm saying? So, in that situation, then allegedly, but they're just as dirty as they. So you can't use that past like, yo, he was messing with a little girl, but you tried to kill a little girl. But what did the little girl do for you to try to kill her? Oh, nothing. She just was in the house. We can't pick and choose. We can't pick and choose the argument. They're both wrong then. From now on, that's why I use the word allegedly, until I hear it, that I can confirm that A said that. Not saying that you're freestyling or you're lying. I'm not saying it. What I'm saying is, I just can't say, yeah, word, that's the truth. You know what I'm saying? But if that's the case, they still stabbed and shot a little girl. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing gangster about that. You know what I'm saying? Yes. But you know what I'm saying? So, the police said they responded shortly after 2 a.m. to a telephone call reporting the sounds of gunshots from a 3rd floor apartment at 1295 Grand Concourse near East 169th Street in the Morrison section of the Bronx. When the police arrived, they discovered 6 people, all of whom had been shot in the head and the body at close range. Inspector Daniel F. McMahon, Executive Officer of the Bronx Detective Unit, 3 of them had been handcuffed behind the back and were already dead. The dead were identified as Myra Encroach, Enoch 50, and Joanne Blue, who had both lived in the apartment where the shootings occurred, and Charles Parker, 23 years old man, of 454 West 162nd Street in Manhattan. The girl stabbed in the stomach. The police said and said the two other victims, Lynette Bell, 13, whose address was unknown, and Michael Lamar, 34, of 1700 Grand Concourse, were taken to Bronx Municipal Hospital Center. Another victim, Azie Firezone, was 23 years old, whose address was not immediately known, was taken to Lincoln Hospital. The police said that the girl had apparently been stabbed in the stomach before being shot. They were all under 24-hour armed guard, Inspector McMahon said. As soon as they were able to talk, and if they were able to talk, we want to know what they could tell us. A spokesman at Bronx Municipal Hospital, Dorothy, said Mr. Lamar was in critical but stable condition after surgery and was out of intensive care. The girl, however, remained in very critical condition. Mr. Firezone was listed in critical condition at Lincoln Hospital. Last night, he was recovering after surgery, a spokesman said. The police said they believe there were 3 assailants who used a 9mm handgun, a .38 caliber handgun, and a .380 caliber pistol. Inspector McMahon said that the police had found the apartment completely ransacked and that the place may have been used to package crack, the powerful cocaine. A police spokesman said the gunman was searching for something. Sergeant Clifford said a bloody knife, spent shells, empty crack vials, and other drug paraphernalia was found in the apartment. I mean that they didn't find no drugs. This is what the New York Times is saying. 1987 is August 22nd. This rocked the city. This rocked New York City. This was a conversation. By the time we got to school, these was conversations that we had at school. Yo, Azie, how Azie doing? Now, they just heard the story, right? They didn't find no drugs in the house. They just found paraphernalia, some guns, and some shells. Paraphernalia are A misdemeanors. Just to let you guys know that. Paraphernalia that I know about is A misdemeanors. Matthew Jack is in the building. Matthew Jack and Podcast is in the building. Now, hold on. The killer confronts survivor before getting 112 years in prison. I guess. Because we dealing with the. So now, this is one of the most amazing parts. Pat said something a couple of episodes ago that, yeah, Alpo was spitting and kicking on people, and he was a little crazy, but he wasn't like that with everybody. And then when she said that, it goes back into what Boosie said. Shout out to Boosie Harlem. When Boosie said that Alpo seen Kevin Clark after he shot, after the situation with Azie and Poe, he didn't punch him he didn't kick him in the ass, he didn't spit on him, he didn't punch him in the face. He said, yo, come to the block. So maybe situations like that was like Poe picked and choose who he was gonna do some dangerous things to. Now I don't know what kind of situation Poe was in. I don't know what he was doing when he seen Kevin Clark, but I would think a man who's putting $80,000 a week in my pocket, I'm gonna be a little more, yo, son, what the fuck? I'm gonna be a little bit more Alpo that I'm known to be, like spit on you and you bitch ass nigga. But he wasn't on that type of time. Now the whole thing about the weird part about that is Kevin Clark bumped heads with him, right? They bumped heads. What did Poe tell him? And why didn't Kevin Clark feel the need to feel threatened by the enforcer of the crew, the loudest voice, the man who done punched somebody in the face for running up with a pack from Azie? Now you run into the guy who shot him, or allegedly set him up and shot him, and you're embracing him with a conversation. Yo, come to the block, everything is good. Like, did you really think Kevin Clark was gonna come to the block? Do you really think, oh yeah, I'm going over to the block to go holler at the niggas when Aiden told everybody I lined them up? He's alive? Shout out to Boosie for that information, man. Shout out to Boosie. Check out the Boosie unique mega audio interview on Vlad. Very well versed. But he actually says that conversation actually on Mecca Audio's um, Mecca Audio. You know what I'm saying? On his platform. So check out Unique Mecca Audio. He has his own platform. Now, I'm gonna get to the get down, right? So now we're dealing with a man that's known for punching people, kicking people in the ass. You see the man who violates your peoples. You think Kevin Clark seen Poe, knowing that Poe fuck with A? You think that was a good you think that was a peaceful confrontation? Do you think that was you or was it, yo, son told the police? Was it because you can't rock a nigga to sleep and I know you fuck with the nigga. A alive. But when Boosie said what he said, that changed everything. Yeah, you want to go to his mother's house and kill his mother, but you see him personally, don't do nothing to him. Maybe you have a gun on him. But you ain't do nothing. Kevin Clark knew he was telling on him, because believe me, he's the sister. Yo, you set my brother up, you going to jail, da-da-da. Believe me, Kevin Clark knew what time it was. But Kevin Clark wasn't hiding. This is, you gotta look at things. But Kevo wasn't hiding to the police was on his ass. The manhunt. Really hiding. Till he got caught, I believe, in PA. Let's talk about Kevin Clark. Debbie, shout out to Dog Soldier. So my man Dog Soldier with the $5, the $5.50 drop, you heard? Just making it drop to United Negro Fund. You know what I'm saying? Just dedicating the dedications. The righteous, do the right thing. Do the right thing. The necessaries, and the do's and the don'ts. One thing you don't do, right? You don't see the op and you expect them to come to your block. You don't do that. Now, like I said, for all you, this show is not an Alpo slandering campaign. This show was based on a Pat Porter's Real Paid in Full. I'm just going over some things that she said on that stage. She said he wasn't like that with everybody. And I really believe that shit on that West Side. I believe that when he seen Kevin Clark, he looked at the killer in his face, in his eyes. This ain't gonna be easy. And I'm pretty sure if Kevin might have been gripped up. He might have even been gripped up when he seen the nigga. Yo, son, what's up? Remember, A telling him to go to his mother's house from the hospital bed. Think about this. Yo, nah, leave that shit alone, police. Shit's crazy, shit hot. That's why A telling nigga chill for. That's why A, believe me, that's any nigga. Yo, son, chill, shit is hot. You know what I'm saying? He sees the infamous, the guy who did this was a violation in my eyes. As he look at his which reporter who lied to him, because I'm not gonna get too stuck on this Alpo conversation. But how many dudes did Alpo violate for Azie that fucked some money up, that ran off with a pack or ran off with, but they wasn't threats. It wasn't threats. It really wasn't threats. I don't know. They just wasn't threats. You know what I'm saying? Now, what happens is, I like what you just said right there. We're not killers respect killers, but killers kill killers. They respect them. But if I'm fucking with my team, you don't violate niggas on my team. There's a respect level, but there's also time to go to war. Like I said, she said out her mouth, yo, he was like that with everybody. Boosie said he seen the nigga who shot his man that's putting $80,000 in this week. The nigga ain't do nothing. More of the story, he ain't do nothing. He ain't slap him, he ain't spit him, he wasn't disrespectful, he ain't tell nigga suck my dick. How you gonna try to rock a nigga to sleep and you're known as the nigga enforcer? That doesn't make that math don't add up. I'm just being well versed here. It has to make sense. If you're known as the enforcer, you know what I'm saying? See, take the fan out. I'm not being disrespectful. Just take the fan out the moment. It's not about him being scared. It was about that moment that he didn't perform. Had nothing to do with fear. He just didn't perform. He didn't perform. That's just it. He didn't perform. He just didn't perform. He wasn't the Alpo. He wasn't the same Alpo that was smacking him, probably little dirty Johnny. That's just what it was. He wasn't the same Alpo that was. He just didn't perform. In jail and up north, we say some niggas don't perform. You know what I'm saying? He just didn't perform. Exactly. So again, it's in an Alpo thing because you're making an Alpo thing. He just didn't perform. As he dropped the ball on that. Up north, he'd have been in play for that. Up north, because he got niggas. See, one thing I'm gonna say about New York State prison is that when they give you that plate, you don't give a fuck who you are. You drop that ball, you don't perform. That's your name on it. Nah, son, ain't perform, son. You got dudes that been putting in work for years. And that one movie they had to put in that they didn't perform. When I mean performers, they pull a stunt to get out the jail. That's on their catalog. But see, nobody never blew that up about Alpo because he was locked up. Boosie brought that to the world. Now, we're going to get back to the Kevin Clarks, you heard? All due respect, D-Moss, and I respect it, your comments, and I respect your opinion. I'm just being honest with you on my side. On my side, he didn't perform. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's just, and he didn't perform in that situation. Kevin Clark was supposed to die. Kevin Clark was, what happened in that scene paid in full was supposed to happen when Poe seen Kevin Clark that day. But the streets was changing, right? Minds was changing. By that time, 87, 88, Poe going to D.C. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That was his moment he just didn't perform. And that one moment that he didn't perform, he doesn't take pride in not performing in that moment. But he takes pride in killing Rich Porter. He takes pride in killing Rich. He takes a whole lot of pride in killing Rich. He takes a whole lot of pride in that shit. Yo, he's playing with me, he lied to me, so and he even goes into detail how he killed Rich, but this isn't an Alpo Rich story. And we're making this into an Alpo Rich story. You know what I'm saying? He dropped the ball on this one. He just dropped the ball. Maybe he never his gun on him. You know what I'm saying? He seen the killer. And I best believe when Kevin Clark seen him, he was on gold time anyway. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yo, son. Like, we don't know the interaction. We don't know the interaction. Believe me, when Kevin seen him, Kevin probably was already on go. Like, yo, son, what's up? Yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, because what was Alpo gonna say to him? What was Poe gonna say to him? Yo, you shot A in the head. Come to the block? Yo, I don't know what's going on out here. You know what I'm saying? But yo, come to the block. It has to make sense in this, you know what I'm saying? He seen the nigga, that's what he told niggas. We don't know what the real interaction was. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. We don't know what he just went and told Boosie them niggas that. Yo. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I remember when Buzzy, he got laid out. That situation with him on my side, when he kept playing with the wrong ones. And see what happened to Buzzy. You know what I'm saying? Not saying what happened to Buzzy, but that Buzzy situation was crazy. You remember that? You remember that? Someone was in the comments yesterday. The dude that allegedly went to jail for that. Not allegedly, but that was part of his brother's case. You know what I'm saying? But let's get back to the content. You know what I'm saying? Kevin Clark. Let's get back to the Grito. You know what I'm saying? I like, because it's not an album. It's going off of what the sister said, and now I have to think about it. He bumped into a killer. and he didn't perform. I don't know what he told Bootsy and them niggas, but he just didn't perform. You know what I'm saying? He had all the reasons to want to slap the shit out of Kevin Clark, punch him all in the head, chase him down the block. But see, Kevin wasn't that easy. By that time, Kevin walking around gripped up. I see any of them niggas, I'm on go. We all, you know what I'm saying? We don't know if Kevin Clark might have ran down on Poe. See them somewhere, yo son, what's up? How you know what I'm saying? What's up? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you, right? What he said he killed them for is what niggas do to dudes every day in the game. Yo, he was lying to me about the prices. Yo, he lied to me about what price he was charging me. I was paying that extra instead of that. Again, nobody who's getting a brick for $10,000, $12,000 is gonna sell you a brick for $11,000. That's unheard of. So of course, this is business now. See, when you go from business to being a worker, when you're used to getting consignments, you don't look at things differently. Yo, I give you this, you give me that. Now this is business, nigga. This is the crack of it. Why? Because think about this. Why am I gonna give you these bricks when I can sell these bricks here in New York? I can sell these bricks here. And still hit niggas, and niggas is paying that price because the Dominicans wasn't fuck with everybody. Gotta understand the time that this happened. The Dominican, Uptown wasn't really like that, Dominican land. We call it Dominican land. I just couldn't go to Blimpies or 141 and go, yo, let me get something for Twitter. They wasn't doing that. You had to know somebody. So when you know somebody, because you wasn't, you still paying a high price. Remember, cocaine was still in the hundreds. So now you got A or whoever these niggas circle with trust is, they're the only black niggas that blacks is able to re-up from. Only some blacks. You hear niggas war stories. Yo, we have to fuck with the Colombians. We have to fuck with these niggas. Now you got blacks. How you think Unique was dumping over? He said it, 10 bricks or 20 bricks. You know what I'm saying? How do you think he was doing that? Because he was black. So you have black dudes that could come to blacks and niggas that give it to you a little more cheaper. You know what? I'll take a couple of points off for you. But I'm still gonna charge you because you're in the game to make money. Nobody's hustle is not to be in the game to make no money. If my man gets it for 18 and he gives me, yo, Zeke, I give it to you for 20. I better be buying a brick. You know what I'm saying? Nobody makes money putting 2 points on something. Nobody makes money in that. That's Alpo telling y'all from some logic to niggas who never been a part of that game. Gotta be part of the drug game, the pay grade, the point. Do you understand the point scale? Some of you do. Do you really understand what points are? If I get a brick for 20,000, right? And it's a drought, there's nothing on the street, niggas can't find nothing. Do you think I'm gonna sell somebody a brick for 25,000? I don't give a fuck who you are. You know what I'm saying? Nah, son, I got it for 30. I got it for 35. My niggas that I fuck with day ones. If there's a sense of a drought, them niggas throwing numbers up. There'd be droughts. And again, at this point in time, the Dominican niggas wasn't fucking with blacks like that. You had to know a nigga. You really had to, it wasn't until like 88, 89 until it got crazy. So that shit that he told niggas is just beyond people's pay grade. That's business. That's everyday business. Yo, son, what you think? On my block, right? This is my block. Them old Spanish niggas, when that shit blew, crack went crazy. Those niggas refused to drop their prices. So if you want to get some grams from them niggas, you have to pay 100. So we had to go uptown. You see, I just told you, we could have went across the street and said, yo, Poppy, let me get a brick. Nah, 100. Why I pay 100 for when I can go uptown and go get this shit for 100 a gram? Niggas are still stuck on 800s. They had their clientele already. Dudes had their clientele already. So we're getting to the history of the game. He didn't get over on the nigga. No reality. Now it's different if he'd have gave Rich 100,000 and Rich would have dipped off. That's another story. But he didn't. He just, come on, bro. Why? Listen, I'm giving you bricks for this price when I can sit here and get little Mo who's gonna buy this shit off of me. It's a crack. We're talking about the beginning of the crack wave in New York City. We're not talking about fuck what's going on in D.C. The beginning of the crack wave in New York City. A still fucking with the coke. Rich is fucking with all these new crack dealer niggas. Why don't they black? Yo, Rich, I need something. But he said them niggas outlandish prices. They're paying it because the double up is crazy. We're talking about when crack costs $20 a bottle in the 5 boroughs. In Manhattan, $25, 20 niggas is buying 20s of crack. This is before the trays, the deuces, when dudes is paying $20 for 027s of cracks. Fuck am I gonna give you? Why am I giving you grams for the low for? I could dump this shit here. I could dump this shit on 40th. Not saying 40. I could dump this shit on 43rd. This shit going for $20. Why am I? Yo, hey, what's up? Yo, Miguel ain't fucking with me because I'm fucking. You know what I'm saying? Come on, son. Back then, them Spanish niggas wasn't fucking with niggas like that. See, y'all look at New York from the 89 and 90 shit. When you go uptown, Dominican snatch you. Come here, Bobby. You got this. It wasn't like that. So if you played in the game and somebody charged you points, you thought you wanted to kill him, then this game wasn't for you. Because that's how weight men make money. By points. I get it for 10, I sell it for 15. I made 5 points off this shit. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? I might go, because you my man, I might shave off, but I'm not gonna hold a bunch of A and B felonies in my house and I'm giving this shit to you. I'm not giving this shit away to you for free. Think about what dudes is doing. Dudes is committing A felonies to look out for niggas that much. So again, Pat is being well versed in. 1887, it was hard to get shit for the law. You wasn't getting nothing for the law. Unless you really knew a nigga. You had to, we're not talking about 1990, 91, 92, 93. We're talking about then. You had to know a nigga. Like I told you, we had krills on my block. Krills on my block, right on my block. We couldn't go across the street allegedly to go re-up. Nah, $100 a gram. We had, listen, those niggas said no to us, and we had to go uptown. 40 blocks. 40 blocks. When your papa was up, I got you. Come on, man. Let me get. So but speaking about a different time. You know what I'm saying? See, what happens is people do business and they believe that their part is in this business. This is a business. Now, like I said, I wasn't at the tables whatever was being done. But he wasn't getting hit with consignments. The man said he was spending $500,000 to re-up. This is business. This is not consignments. It's not me giving you a brick on the arm and 2 bricks on the arm and you doing what you do. This is us doing business. Now, you really want me to hit you on the arm, but why am I going to hit you on the arm for, again, when I can sit in my car? Yo, son, I need to get a brick. Yo, son, I need 2 bricks. Why? You had dudes that's making $1 million a day without leaving New York City. You had all the cops on the payroll. The Dirty 30, 34 police, and a host of others. TNT, listen, we're talking about before TNT. Let's remind you of this. Before TNT, the only thing NYPD was chasing around was niggas with robberies and murders. This is pre-TNT. Pre-TNT. Y'all looking at the 90s in New York. We're talking about pre-TNT. Pre-TNT, when Rich officers his car. He's sitting in his car like this. Yo, Rich, what's up? If y'all think it's a black and Spanish war in jail, what you think was in his fucking streets mentally? Back then, who was the Spanish gangs? La Familia, the Ball Busters. Come on, give me some Spanish gangs. There wasn't really no Latin Kings and Nietas and all that. What was 87, 88? What was that? Let's talk about it. So you was Zulu Nation, because most niggas that was leaving these little side gangs was becoming the hustlers, right? Yo, the ball busting niggas be chasing niggas around. I ain't fucking with them niggas. But your man said he got some work. Word, this crack shit is popping. What's popping? You're rich. I heard you got it. You talk about when crack costs $20 a bottle. Police wasn't chasing crack dealers about. This is pre-TNT. Pre-TNT. Before the shit in Queens. Y'all keep talking about the 90s. We're talking about 87, in 1987, when a man can actually ride around. Nobody was going to Broadway unless you knew a nigga. You had to know somebody. Yo, I want to get some work. If you're black, somebody might go see such and such, or go see. Why do you think Fritz and a host of others was feeding a bunch of niggas in New York? Because those Spanish cats wasn't just fucking with anybody. You had to bend somebody for them to fuck with you. Because those niggas will charge you top dollar unless you're Miguel. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're Miguel. Yeah, and that's how it goes. You because you have the right, see, and there's nothing. Nah, it ain't that. I know the business. That's just common sense. We're talking about the time when the grams is up. He ain't deserve that shit. When the grams is up, nah, son, you bugging. Because now that sounds crazy. That's like me being in Albany and I'm giving niggas New York prices. That's like me sitting. That's like me sitting in Albany, New York, and I'm giving niggas Humphrey French price. I'm beating myself. These are B and C chances niggas is taking, bro. That's where people get it misconstrued at. If I'm gonna give you a brick, I gotta make it for my losses. If I'm gonna give you a brick for 20 to go down south, I could have broke this brick down and made what off this shit? Understanding business. Why do you think a lot of niggas didn't leave New York? A lot of niggas wasn't leaving New York, but they was making block money. They was making side money. Oh, now I'm not on what's his name? Nah, my man do that shit all the fucking time. My man all the fucking time. That's business. My niggas call me, yo, Zeke, what's up? What's up? I'm gonna make some phone calls when I was in the game, allegedly. Yo, son, what's up? I'm looking for the lowest price. Yo, I got some niggas from out of town coming. What's up? What number you got for me? Yo, Zeke, I give it to you for boom. All right, bet. I'm gonna throw 5 points on this shit. I don't go, yo, I'm gonna 2 points because I want to show you my love and loyalty to you. This is business, nigga. This is business. Yo, Zeke, I give it to you for the low. What's the low? All right, bet. And that's business, bro. There's no friendship in business. Like I said, at a time when you can sit in your car, and you in an office. Yeah, don't say anything. You can sit in your car. That was the office. The only denial part is nothing. That's business, bro. Niggas charge niggas. What you think? Yeah, but Brooklyn niggas, yeah, he would have died in Brooklyn. But that's why you have Brooklyn niggas, right? Certain niggas in Brooklyn. But one thing about Brooklyn niggas was, what was they doing? They was coming uptown to get some work, right? They was coming uptown to get some work. That was, you know what I'm saying? But I think about this in Brooklyn, an 8-ball in 1990 was still going for $150, $200. In Brooklyn, in the 90s. So the prices was always high in BK. You know what I'm saying? Certain blocks. Niggas, so when you went to a block in Brooklyn, in Bed-Stuy in the 1990s, early 90s, I remember my man from Brooklyn, he didn't want to go uptown. Yo, he went to re-up. Niggas charged that nigga like, and we talking about 1990, my nigga. Niggas charged this nigga like, what the son charged him? He charged him $20 a gram, like 20 a gram. He charged him like 20 a gram in 1990. 1990 in Brooklyn. I said, damn, my nigga, you might as well uptown, my nigga. Like the early 90s. That's a different, you know what I'm saying? So niggas is paying the top dollar. That's why dudes came uptown. Dudes wasn't coming uptown because uptown had, That's what these niggas did. The only thing that Rich got the $1 million plug and went someplace else with it. But again, Rich also sized him up that when he said, yo, Rich Porter, I told that I killed Rich in the Wayne Perry paperwork, and in Wayne Perry's paperwork, Rich Porter's name ain't in it. You know what I'm saying? So he lied about that. Some people could, they could lie here and there. That's because he won't admit he told. Doesn't mean that he's not a liar. He stands on what the fuck he talking on. Because in Wayne Perry's paperwork, he definitely didn't tell. You know what I'm saying? I respect that. I have nothing to do with the business. I don't re-up from you. I go find somebody else. Your son fucking around. Let me go find my old connect. Who's not gonna take $500,000 on the Rich? That's the question. Why did he feel so dependent on Rich to re-up from? That's the question. You spending $500,000. You're from the east side. You got the Raw Deal crew that got way across the street from your housing complex. Right across the street, allegedly, you can go to the Raw Deal niggas and go, yo, I got $500,000. You ain't even gotta go to the west side. You can say fuck Rich. There was a bunch of Spanish niggas on the east side that had multiple grams of coke. Not even putting the Raw Deal crew out there. He could have went to go see Titi and them niggas. He could have seen anybody. He could have went to your Tone, what's up? I got 500,000. What was his obsession with reading up from Rich? I didn't understand that. He could have went right across the street from his house, starts on that Spanish shit. Yo, I got 500,000. They would have never told him no. What? 500,000? Yo, let's get that. Okay, you keep. So again, now think about what you just said. It was post plug. Because remember, this isn't about. Remember, this isn't about. It's supposed to be about Pat. We're getting distracted here. Think about what I'm about to tell you. It's post plug. Why am I going to you, Rich, if it's my plug? So you wanted to put money in Rich's pocket. So let's say Rich wasn't jerking you. Look how stupid this shit sounds. You the plug, you got my plug. I can see him directly, but I'd rather give you the money to go see my plug. Even if Rich wasn't jerking him. Who gives you free money, my nigga? Go on, son. That doesn't make sense. Think about this. Think about what I'm about to say. I got a plug. I'm spending $500,000. I'm not spending $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. This ain't a Rich Porter show. I'm gonna go Rich. This is the plug, my plug. But I'm gonna give you the money to go see my plug to give me the drugs. But you can fuck with them too. Feed the fucking wolves. They had a notice. We're gonna leave it here. They had a strange. They had a strange business arrangement that was really weird. It was strange. It was just strange. It's so strange. It's hard to figure this shit out. It's a strange bit because it's too weird. I got the plug. I don't even need you to re-up from these niggas. But I could come to the town and not even look at you niggas. But I'ma call beat you. You know what I'm saying? But now it's back to, let's get back, you know what I'm saying? Bing, you know what I'm saying? That's just that's a strange business arrangement. And I can agree with you, since because I'm not here to shoot you down. I'm not here to, you're just saying is wrong because this is what he said out of his mouth. You know what I'm saying? Whatever beef he had, but again, it's not in the paperwork, so I cannot say Alpo killed Rich. I'm here, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all going by what the man's saying, so I gotta respect it. It's his voice. I got some paperwork that says that Alpo didn't kill Rich. Now, Pat Porter may have some paperwork that's different from that, but the paperwork I got. You know what I mean? So it's just like, that's what I said. That's a weird business arrangement. But even being the plug, like, that's one hell of, think about what you just said right there. That's one hell of a manipulation. Yo, Juan, not Juan, yo, John, yo, Jose, give me I need 10 bricks for what? Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Poe, I'm gonna charge you these prices. Yo, what you give me this? What you gonna give me these bricks for? I got somebody from DC coming. Who? Poe? Nah, man. Little Jesse and them niggas. I bet. This is crazy. Hit the like button, man. This is crazy. Like I said, it was a weird business situation, but paperwork wise, until I see a different piece of paper. Shout out to Crown Court CV. Alpo, paperwork wise, did not kill Rich Porter. DVD wise, yeah, he killed him. You know what I'm saying? Movie wise, yeah, he killed him. But paperwork wise, he did not kill him. I have the paperwork. If y'all would like the paperwork, exactly. I got the paperwork. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. I got the paperwork, and I like that. Y'all have how y'all look at it, and I like, and that's what this type of content's created for. The way you see things. You know what I'm saying? Bro, that's money. You buying 30 bricks. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna read up on my own. If I were to read up from somebody, if I had seen Juan would have been like, not Juan, but anybody. And they'd be like, yo, son, I hit the nigga, whatever the case may be. Yo, word, he got me. I approach him, of course. If it's a weird, yo, son, you got over me? Of course you're gonna tell me. They're gonna say, yeah, son, I got you for 100,000. No, of course. He's in he's in the game to make money. Boom. Alright, I'm not fucking with you no more. Either I'm gonna put hands on you or I'm not fucking with you. I'm not gonna kill him. Because that's part of the game. That's part of the game. That's part of the game. Because he had the power to re-up on his own. He didn't have to fuck with Rich. Even to that point. So you're just telling me, you're giving a nigga your money, he's charging you this outlandish price, and you was just okay with that. When you could walk right across the street from your housing complex where mommy live at, where Will's at, and walk across the street and go, yo, let me holler at you. I just came back from out of town, I got 200,000. Nah, it's not fitting my opinion. I'm just being honest with you. He could have went across the street where he at. If you from the east side of Harlem, y'all niggas know what I'm talking about. He could have went right across the street and y'all got 200,000. He could have fucked with niggas, but I don't know why. He just didn't fuck with niggas. He decided to fuck with who he was fucking with on the west side or whoever he was fucking with. Because whoever his plug was had to be on the west side. It wasn't the east side, nigga. Whatever business they had, it went sour. But paperwork-wise, it does not say Rich Porter killed, Alpo killed Rich, or Little Gary killed Rich. It doesn't say that. It mentioned other homicides that Little Gary caught, but not that one. So I can't go off of that. You know what I'm saying? Bingo. That was the moral of the story. Poe like to get funny. Now, definitely salute to D. Morris in the building. Definitely salute to all y'all. You know what I'm saying? Salute to everybody that's in the building that commented. You know, Sonny Blanco, OG, so this Brooklyn shit. You know, this Brooklyn shit. And I like that because you got to see it the way you see it, businessly. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I look at things, you know, from a business perspective. You have to understand, I can't look at it from an emotional perspective because if a nigga coming from out of town, we'll never know. Remember, he's saying that. You know what I'm saying? He said that. Nobody knows, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something, man. I'm just going to be honest with you, man. When they stopped calling back, they knew Darnell was dead. And that sounded crueler than usual. They knew that in their heart. The guy that was standing right there, wow, they called the police. Apple was there all that time. Yo, they called the police. He can't come back. That's as simple. And it's hard to say this, and it's fucked up to say this. Apple standing right there. And they go, yo, son. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And that's all that was. That situation was Darnell. So when you offer your 100,000, was it the first day? Because day 3, the police is involved. They're not trying to bring, you know what I'm saying? App was telling them, yo, the feds then came to the crib. Okay, this thing is over. The dance is over. You know what I'm saying? There's a story that I heard, somebody hit me up and said that preacher allegedly told them to let Darnell go. And I guess Apple and them must have been like, yo, he know our face, he know the voices, whatever the case may be, and they killed him. I don't know how true that is. Like I said, that's what dudes do all the time, bro. I mean, a lot of dudes. I can't say everybody, but a lot of dudes do that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean. So there's no way. You know what I'm saying? So in the more of that story, I know Apple now. That's just an old nigga from the West Side. There was a whole bunch of niggas like Apple on the West Side though. You know what I'm saying? Apple was just Apple. You know what I'm saying? He was just who he was. But he was in the house. That's his nephew. That you know what I'm saying? It's just fucked up to say this, but they called the police. Yo, we can't bring Darnell back. You know what I'm saying? And you know, now back to Kevin Clark. Sonny Blanco's gonna make a video about this later on. Go check out Sonny Blanco. You know what I'm saying? He got OG Sonny Blanco's making a video about something about this later on. And everybody got the right to their perspective, how they look at it. I'm all in. Now, getting back to Pat. What Pat touched on. The only reason why I brought Alpo up for because there was a mention from Boosie that Alpo see Kevin Clark and nothing happened. Fuck it, he didn't perform. He didn't smack the nigga, he didn't kick him in the ass, he didn't spit on the nigga. So when she said he picked and choose his fights, that might have been something that she was talking about. I have to say allegedly. Again, I cannot say that Alpo killed Rich Porter because I have Wayne Perry's paperwork. And the paperwork that Alpo said that he actually told on to get his deal he got, he does not make a mention of Little Gary killing Rich Porter. He does make a mention of the individual who bought the guns from in New York to kill Demencio. Rest in peace to Demencio. Shout out to Brooklyn. Those are mentions in this thing. You know what I'm saying? Now, so, like I said, the only place that we know that he said this was a DVD and a DVD. Hell yeah, we can agree and disagree. That's what agree. Everything I'm talking about, you have to see things from your glass, and I respect that. I see it from your glass. I'm gonna tell you, I'm trying to make you agree to something that in your time, that's not what happened where you're from, or your zip code, or your era, your cloth. Nah, I'm talking from my experience. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's experience is different. Doesn't make me better, or make me lesser, make you lesser, or make, you know what I'm saying? But we'll have a respectful build. You know what I'm saying? Now, Kevin Clark, he was the beast in the situation. And that's how you build. That's how you have a respectful build. Now, she ended off the Vlad interview with the A told his moms. No, it's not in, no. That immunity does not take away from the case. The case that he told, the immunity has nothing to do with the case. He has to mention why he's getting immunity. You know what I'm saying? Immunity just means that he can say what the fuck he want to say and not be charged with it. That doesn't take away from nothing. You got to mention the case. And in the case, there's no mention of Rich Porter being him killing Rich Porter. There's no mention of Azie, Rich Porter, or Darnell in that. No mention of that. No mention of that. Immunity just means that, yo, these bodies I'm seeing that was involved with these crimes is what I'm, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He mentioned other bodies that Little Gary caught. Other bodies that Gary caught, he mentioned that before he killed them. Then he mentioned why he killed them. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's definitely Mr. X salute in the building. Now, let's get to the infamous Kevin Clark. Great people, New York State. Now look how foul he is. Okay, it goes. This is Kevin Clark's appeal, actually. You know what I'm saying? This is Kevin Clark's appeal right here. After the jury returned guilty verdicts against all three defendants, the defense each moved to set aside the verdict. Now I'm gonna tell you how grimy this nigga is. He had an alibi while he gave up the two niggas who allegedly did this shit. Like, you can't make this up. They all got 112 years of life, 112 years and a half of life. Now I see why a lot of dudes never really caught Azie a rat. Now I see why. Now I get it. Now I see why. He might have did. He mentioned his name in it, but just because you mentioned somebody that you bought some guns from, who knows? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That does not mean that somebody got locked up for those guns. We'll never know. Duke might be dead. But he mentioned him. You know what I'm saying? He mentioned the guy he bought the guns from. To kill people in DC, actually. He said, I bought 6 and 9, and these guns was used for these murder cases. So I don't know if Duke went to jail, but he had to tell the story. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But he had to tell those stories. And when the mix of him telling those stories was boom. He had to tell the story. That's what when you want to tell, you got to tell the whole story. I got the paperwork. Now, if the Duke ever go to jail, we'll never know. Once y'all Google the federal ID. You know what I'm saying? But this is part of our post immunity. Yo, who he got the guns from. But a lot of people need to come up with people paperwork and they don't get charged. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I went over here by my gun and da-da-da, because they're not investigating them. Now, down the line, did Duke probably go to jail? Yeah, because a lot of those guns he sold led to homicides. Because Alpo's saying that those guns that he bought from Duke was being used for murders in D.C., specifically those Tech 9s and those 380s. I have the paperwork. You know what I'm saying? I can my Gmail is zekeblack131@gmail.com. If you want the paperwork, I got it. Shout thanks to the due diligence of my good friend Crown Courts TV. Get in tune with Crown Courts TV. He has all the do's and the diligences, doing the righteous thing, doing the necessaries. Yeah, just get my email because I'm not technically inclined for all that. You know what I'm saying? Just put my email up. You'll want the paperwork. I got the email, and we're gonna just do the necessaries. Let me get the I'm gonna put my email in the joint, man. Hold on one second. You want the paperwork? Shout out to Wifey. Definitely shout out to Wifey, man. Now, unless they produce another piece of paper that says different, until they do that, how we say produce the paperwork, poor ain't kill rich. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Unless there's another piece of paper swarming around here, because even though his paperwork might be sealed, Wayne Perry's paperwork ain't sealed, and little Gary's paperwork ain't sealed. So unless little Gary has a brother and sister who's not taking no charge for going, my brother was charged with Rich Porter's murder, with a piece of paper, not just saying it on a DVD or a mixtape, I don't think he killed him. Until I see different. You know what I'm saying? This is, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't mention it. The only New York body he mentioned was the nigga he bought the guns for to kill a New York nigga, Demencio. Leslie, rest in peace, Demencio. That's the only New York. There was no before that he's catching bodies and he was being. You know what I'm saying? It was none of that shit in that case. But getting back to Pat Porter. Pat Porter, you're doing your due diligence. You're very well versed. And just bringing back to 1987, man, but a lot was going on in New York City. The streets was changing. Crack was at an all-time high. Crack was crazy. Crack was leaving from the clean section, and that was the beginning of crack joining the dirty section. Yes, we'll soon reach the dirty section. That was the years when crack left the clean section and went to the dirty section. How how they have the dirty section of YouTube, crack was hitting. You know what I'm saying? Crack was hitting the boom. So things was changing, the streets was changing, and Azie was shot and some people passed away. Kevin Clark, of course, was involved, bitch ass, no sucker, you know what I'm saying? And Pat's telling her story, man. And she's saying it clearly, and I truly was, and she's being well versed, and she know that there's a bunch of there's a bunch of people. Got you. There's a bunch of people. They know that there's a bunch of people that would like to tear what she's saying apart, but she's not freestyling. Alpo didn't perform when he was supposed to perform when he bumped heads with Kevin Clark. That's it. I don't know what happened to the conversation. I don't know what he went back. He just didn't perform. He didn't perform for a man that actually died for him. He never said anything bad about A. So if A puts you in a position to win, you ain't spit on you. You ain't spit, punch, shoot at, slap. So he dropped the ball that time in the yard. That's just what he did. He dropped the ball that time. The one time he dropped the ball, but nobody knew because Boosie said it. Boosie said it. Shout out to Boosie, Harlem. Shout out to Harlem. Now, we gonna get to the get down. Let's listen to what Pat Porter had to say. Let's listen to Pat, man. Listen to what Pat Porter had to say. Oh, shit, let me get the Pat. Oh, shit, my bad, Pat. Definitely, rest in peace to Darnell, rest in peace to Rich. This isn't a Alpo slandering campaign, but just having a conversation. Yeah, that's what he did. He sat there and told. Yep. But Azie never portrayed himself to be a killer. You know what I'm saying? He never portrayed himself to be other than Azie. So Azie dropping the ball on it isn't as bad as, you know what I'm saying? A nigga who this is what you do. You slap niggas, punch niggas, and kill niggas, right? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Because to be very well versed before I play this, the paperwork against Wayne Perry is what Alpo actually told on in the Wayne Perry situation. Yeah. She talks about, shout out to Vlad TV. Pat Porter speaks about Azie getting shot 9 times during the robbery. Listen clearly, party people.
What was it?
It was someone's house that we called our aunt that he used to go up and like package his stuff up, leave stuff there. The same as when Richard would come and let him hold something in the cleaners. This was the person that we spoke of as like treat us like an aunt. and he thought it was something quiet and low because he used to look for stuff like that to go package up his stuff. And Aunt Joanne was one of the people, and it wasn't they were there, they went there. The person who did this to them knew where it was. And I don't even know if the person intended for Azie to show up. I don't think that. I think that he initially just went to rob the place, not knowing that Azie was coming.
Right, but Azie showed up.
Yes, he did.
Everyone was tied up in the room. Guns were drawn. Azie got pistol whipped initially, I think. He had blood streaming down his face. And then they made him open up the safe.
They never got open.
Right, and
They
we
tried
talked
to.
about this.
Yeah.
So we go in the building, get on the elevator, get off on the 3rd floor. As soon as we get off the elevator, some dudes come off the steps. The door that we go into, the door come wide open. They push us into the apartment. Guns drawn, masks on their face. She had a sunken living room. They pushed me down the steps. They took Charlie, my man Charlie, and the girl in the back room somewhere. So they got me on the floor next to the safe I had in there. Open up the safe, motherfucker. Open up the safe. Mask on his face. But I recognized the voice. It's my sister's boyfriend. Yo, Kev, what you doing? That's his name, Kev. You did me wrong, motherfucker. This is what he's saying to me. You did me wrong. Fuck that. Open up the safe. I'm trying to open up the safe because I'm kind of nervous at the time. You know you gotta be precise when you opening up the safe. So it's taking me a while to open up the safe. He hit me with the gun, blood pouring down my face. Open up the safe, open up the safe, open up the safe. So now we couldn't get the safe open.
And talking about it to him, he hadn't even been up there for a period of time. Like, so it was really not, he hadn't been up there. This particular night, it clicks in his head. Let me go up there and mess with them. But it's really nothing there. It's whatever he had there probably had been there for a month, maybe some months. And because that's what he did, he moved around. He was in different places at different times doing what he needed to do to produce.
Right. Well, he couldn't get the safe open.
No, he could not.
He got shot 7 times.
9.
9 times? So, okay, he gets shot 9 times. 3 people get killed.
Yes.
And 3 other people were seriously shot.
Yes.
My aunt started yelling from the room. She called me Junior. You feel me? That's, everybody in my family called me Junior. Junior, don't go with them. Just give them what they want. Just give them everything. Just don't. She's panicked, like, yelling and screaming and shit. Leave us alone, yelling. So Kev tell the other 2 dudes, yo, shut that bitch up. Turn the radio on real loud. I hear gunshots. I panic. Now I'm in the bathroom, and Kev watching me with the gun. I start tussling with him, trying to get up out of there, and I almost had the dude. Almost had the gun. His man come out the room and put the gun to my forehead, and I watched him pull the trigger. And my spirit left the body, bro. That's how that happened, bro.
Well, number 1, how much money was in that safe?
In that safe, at that time, it wasn't really nothing in there at that time. I was like at the end of the package that I had there. It might have been like, maybe like an eighth of Coke, and maybe like about no more than $15,000 to $20,000 in that safe, bro. At that time.
Okay, but had you opened the safe and just gave them what they wanted, regardless of what it was, they might have said, all right, cool, that's enough for us.
I could not open the safe to save my life, bro.
Okay, so
Under
you weren't just trying to, it wasn't a money thing.
Come on, if I was gonna open that shit here, man, look, take it.
Yeah.
You feel me? The fuck, I don't care about that, bro. But I couldn't open it to save my life at that time. Under circumstance, I don't know what it was, bro.
Yeah. Well, you were shot 7 times.
9 times.
9 times.
Twice in the head, 1 in the neck, 1 in the shoulder, 1 in the hand, and the rest of the shots was in the leg that broke my leg in 3 different spots.
Okay. But not only were you shot, but everyone else in the room was shot as well.
Shot, and they stabbed the girl like 4 or 5 times, and she was shot, also in the head. They left 6 people for dead that night. And the only thing they got from me is the money I had in my pocket was about $5,000, and I had a chain on my neck, I believe, that cost maybe like they called like $17,000.
And 3 people were killed in that
3
room?
people died, 3 people lived. Myself, the girl lived, and my aunt's friend named Michael Lamar, he lived.
When you went to go see him in the hospital, how bad did this look?
Like he was sure to die. Like he was sure. I never expected him to come through that. Like seeing him, and then it was like we were there. Me and his mother was there, and it didn't even matter. Like the people that was there was telling him that he was dying. Like, you're dying, you know you have no chance of recovery. You're dying, and to see him, they probably thought what I thought. When you see it, you're not a doctor. You don't know how to save lives. You're seeing that someone is laying there dying. It doesn't look like he's going to come out of this. And 9 shots, who would believe that? I didn't even know how many times he was shot at the time. But I know his mother went in first and was asking him who did this to him. And he told him.
So that's where she left off at. He told his mom who shot him. Now, like I told you, I had my opinion about the situation. You see what he said? His words. The one time that Azie fought back, he got shot. He couldn't open the safe. He had no other option. Fuck it. But one thing she said, it's making sense. They wasn't expecting him to be there. So that would make sense why Kevin would go there, because he's not expecting him to be there. But now A comes during the time about the book something. Whoever lined that up, that's why, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Was Papino, Mac me was Papino. That's deep and that's crazy. This is just another great show. You know, Pat Porter's doing his well versed. Check out her interview. You know what I'm saying? The one moment he did fight back, got shot 9 times. You know what I'm saying? The one moment, probably one of those saying in the drug game wise, he got hit 9 times and 3 people died. I don't really now listen to him. Hearing it now, they probably wasn't even expecting him to be there. But whoever lined that up, which we probably know who it is, that shit was crazy. That thing is crazy. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Exactly. So, I have to, today's another day. They're going to drop a whole nother one. Apple's home, I heard. So, tomorrow morning, let's be ready. We'll be back at it. Taking it back uptown with the oh yeahs. Queen's Flip got a video out. Yeah, everybody wasn't happy, man. The necessaries, the do's and don'ts, to stay positive. Shout out to Wifey. Exactly. Everybody wasn't paid in full. Exactly. Tomorrow morning, we back. I'm pretty sure they're going to drop another clip. But Pat Porter speaks, and she speaks about her experience of when he got shot 9 times and what she thinks. And it sort of makes little sense. It makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to wifey, man. So with that being said, you see the old New York. We here, don't hide the plug, you heard? With that being said, I appreciate y'all. Thank you for pulling up. Let me shout out to Spanish Harlem, shout out to New York, shout out to the Bronx, shout out to Foster Ron Books in the building. You got some more coming. Shout out to Pat. Pat's store, the real paid in full, you heard? Somebody was sitting on the sidelines, and this, you know what I'm saying? That's being well versed in. She's saying some things that's well versed that I hit on. And I said something like, you know, she said Poe wasn't like that with everybody, and it made sense. You seen Kevin, you ain't do nothing, but we never knew it. Boosie never said that, so shout out to Boosie. Check out Unique Maker Audio. You know what I'm saying? So now we're in tune with the in tune. With that being said, definitely shout out to Harlem. It's a great story, man. You know what I'm saying? We rocking, we rolling, feed the wolves. I'm happy y'all wake up with me every morning about this, listen to this. You know what I'm saying? Before you go, hit that like button. You heard? Definitely shout out to Spanish Harlem and Hilltop, PT131, June, my man OG Sonny Blanco. Go check out his videos. You know what I'm saying? D Morris in the building. Shout out to S at St. Louis. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Wifey West Side St. Louis. And we're just doing the necessaries. You know what I'm saying? And Angel, shout out to Chi-Town. Be here. You know what I'm saying? Mac Means in the building. Hell yeah. Everybody be easy. Have a blessed day. You know what I'm saying? Then we shout out to the El Barrio.